This is the real Tom Rose. We're going to finish this problem pretty quickly, but then afterwards I'm going to show you how I was able to do it so fast. Answer choice A is going to be an odd plus an odd, which will always be an even. Answer choice B will be an odd times an odd, which will always be an odd. As soon as you find an answer choice that is always odd, you know it's correct, so we can pick B and be done with it. A doesn't work because it's even. So that would be it, and we would be done with this problem. Let's keep going to see how the others play out. In the case of C, we have an odd plus an odd times an odd, which will be an even. In D, we have odd times odd plus odd times odd, which will equal an even. And in the case of E, we have odd minus odd, which will always be an even. And I'm able to do these so quickly because I have a trick up my sleeve. I have memorized tables relating odds and evens to one another. They're fairly short and easy to memorize. So when I show them to you, they will halfway stick. And when you review them later, they'll stick permanently. First, let's look at addition. If we take an odd and we add it to an odd, we're always going to get an even. If we take an odd plus an even, that will always be an odd. And if we do an even plus an even, that will be an even. So with addition, the only way to ever get an odd is to add an even and an odd. Let's look at subtraction. In the case of subtraction, we can do odd minus odd, which will always give you an even. We can do even minus odd, which will always give you an odd. We'll do odd minus even, which will always give you an odd. And we'll do even minus even, which will give you an even. Let's look at multiplication. When we have an odd times an odd, that's one way to get an odd. If we have an even times an odd, we're going to get an even. And if we do an even times an even, we're going to get an even. And finally, let's look at division. Division is the strangest of the four because you basically don't know anything about any of them. For example, an odd divided by an odd, we don't know what that is. It could be a fraction, and all of these will have the same issue. So even divided by an odd will be a question mark. An odd divided by an even will be a question mark, and an even divided by an even will be a question mark. So those are the tables that I have memorized, and once you have that underhand, solving this problem becomes a fairly quick exercise. If you ever have trouble remembering these tables, you can always try plugging in the numbers 2 and 3, and these tables will come out perfectly. For example, if I put in if I put in a 3 for this odd and a 3 for this odd, the answer will be 6, which is even. And you can try putting in 2 and 3 for evens and odds, and these will all work out correctly.